A warm welcome to the 16th web-based lecture series in the Center for Geographical Studies, AKU Campus, Patna. Good afternoon, Director Ma'am, Ashish Ranjan Sir, Speaker of the Day, scholars, and all invitees present here. I, on behalf of the Center, welcomes Ashish Ranjan Sir, National Convener of National Alliance of People's Movements and Secretary, Jan Jagran Shakti Sangathan. He did his master's at Florida International University, USA, and BTech from IIT Kharagpur. He is a core committee member of the National Alliance of People's Movements. Now, I request Ashish Ranjan sir to deliver a lecture. Now, I request Ashish Ranjan sir to deliver a lecture on the topic Unorganized Workers During Pandemic and Role of Government Entitlements. Sir,
Thank you so much. Is my voice audible?
yes, sir, but there's too much of noise is there.
Okay, let me just fix some of it. Is it better now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak before students and faculty members of Arabhat Knowledge University. Special thanks to Purnima ji for inviting me and giving this opportunity. Uh, I am not an academic, so I'm feeling quite nervous talking to you all who have been in academia. The rigor of academia is totally different, and I've been an activist for uh, a decade now. What I will be talking about is my experience, and as John Dress says, that activists who are watching different schemes and the functioning of the government and other things, they are like fans of football club. So we do follow things like budget and other things, entitlements, very keenly, and have our own opinion on that. But we do not have the rigor of an academician to talk about and or analyze the situation uh, very deeply. So pardon me if I go wrong and if I say something which is not correct. The topic of the day, which was decided by me, uh, the topic is basically what the workers and what the marginalized section of people in our country faced during the pandemic. I'll be focusing on entitlements, and I think that most important entitlement that we have in this country is that of food. As you already know, that we have acute poverty, and NFHS data, which was released recently, shows that anemia among children and women have increased. In that context, even in this 21st century, we are talking about more than 60% of anemia among women and children. That talks a lot about the food situation in the country. And when the pandemic, when the lockdown was announced in March without prior notice, millions of people were stranded in their respective locations without any social security, without any food, without any job. There are several there are several reports from different agencies. Just to give you the extent of the problem during the lockdown, especially, I would like to quote some figures from survey conducted by APU and other civil society organizations. Uh, a survey by APU Azim Premji University of 5,000 households, mostly workers and self-employed people in different cities. It says that 66% of people lost their job, lost work, and this survey was conducted between 13th April and 23rd May. So during 13th April and 23rd May, 66% of the workers interviewed had lost their job, and 47% of those interviewed did not have enough money to buy essentials. So that brings to the point of food security in the country. And as you know, we have a PDS system, a working functional PDS system in the country, driven mostly by the 2013 NFSA Act. And NFSA Act entitles about 80 crore people in our country with 5 kg of grain. So that is the kind of entitlement we are talking about. We are talking about very meager entitlement, which I think became very important during the pandemic. And I will tell you why. I will tell you my experiences here. Uh, See, uh, people lost their job. People did not have anything to fall back upon. The agriculture season was the harvesting was about to begin actually, and people of Bihar who rely on migrant remittances uh, from wherever they go. I mean, people from Bihar go to all nook and corners of the country. So the families over here who were in the villages and towns, they relied on the remittances from those workers, and that had fallen short. The survey also says that the income of the people was drastically reduced. And in that context, the food security was very important. And the government did a good job by announcing 5 kg of additional grain to each household that had a card, that had an FSA card. But let me tell you that millions of people still do not have an FSA card. And so all these
Hello, sir.
rations were not given to those who did not have card. Coming, sorry for the disturbance. So they did not have the card. Now, uh, even the Anganwadis and the schools, midday meal program of the schools were not functional. Uh, so children, especially the vulnerable community, if you count them, children and elderly were most affected by the pandemic. The schools were closed, they were not given midday meals, Anganwadis were not functional. So children were not getting enough nutritious food. And this 5 kg of grain came very handy to people and at least saved them from starvation. And that is why when we talk about things like why people did not show their anger on the streets, as happened with the migrants in Mumbai and Delhi, where they came out in large numbers and protested on the roads, that kind of situation did not happen in rural areas or other places also. There are various other factors, but I think that some kind of social security that our country has and the legacy of that social security prevented a large scale starvation uh, in our country. And talking in the context of Bihar, I think Bihar was fortunate enough in 2013 that 84% of Bihar population was covered under NFSA. Uh, but this and 84% of the population, the baseline was 2011 census. So in 2019-20, a large number of people, in fact about 2 crore people, were not covered under NFSA. In effect, only 70% out of the 84% which are legally entitled to this grains and PDS grains, about only about 70% of the people are covered. That means 14% or even more were not covered, because 84% also includes those who are not really poor. So there is some inclusion error. In this context, when the government announced that it will give 5 kg of ration, extra ration, you can imagine the situation of a person who does not have a card and the next door neighbor gets 5 kg of free ration. So that created a lot of tension in the villages. And the most vulnerable, who did not even have the card, found it very difficult to survive. And there was a lot of tension at the PDS shop and other places to get even a kg of grain, and that we have witnessed in villages also. But fortunately, uh, about 70% of the people, you can say, they got the grain, and that made them survive. If we talk about other entitlements uh, which came handy to the people, the number one would be Narega. As you know, National Employment Rural Employment Guarantee Act, it provides, or it's supposed to provide 100 days of work, guaranteed employment to the workforce. And what was needed most was some kind of work for people, especially migrants who had come back. And they started coming back in the month of May. April, I don't think many people came back in April. Most of them came back in May. And that you can also see in the data of NREGA, where the demand exploded during the month of May and June. The NREGA, uh, people started working, and Bihar, um, there was some traction there because there was a huge crisis. So the government also stepped up its effort and provided more work than 2019-20. If you look at the figures of NREGA, you can see that in 2021, the Bihar has spent about 5,500 crores as opposed to about 3,500 crores last year. So that reflects the kind of, there are huge problems with NRG also, because if you see, only 25% of those who have registered under the scheme, only 25% of those households are called active job card holders. That means in the next in the last 3 years they have worked under NREGA. So amongst about two about 2 crores job card holders, you will find that even during worked for NREGA, and they got an average of, if you look at the average now, it will be hovering around 40 days. If you look at the what 40 days means to a family, I would say, given the kind of poverty we are in, 40 days means about 8,000 rupees, and 8,000 rupees helped them to survive and purchase food items during the pandemic. Still, it fell short, and it led large scale of indebtedness for the workers who were already in deep stress. One, they had to come back to Bihar using private vehicles. As you know, public vehicles were not running. Trains started plying later on, but before that, people used their own resources to come back, and for that they had to take loans, and their families in the villages had to send the money to come back. And again, when they were going back during the pandemic, when there was uh, unlockdown was announced, then also they had to take loans and provide money for the transportation, because there was no way they could have gone back to their workplace. There was no trains that were running. So those kind of situation uh, created a very difficult life for especially the workers and vulnerable communities. If you talk about the elderly, though there was some cash transfer schemes, there was advance payment of pension. The government announced that it would pay rupees 500 to Jandhan account holders. All those things were there, but they were very meager, because these kind of transfer, they can help, but if there is only 500 rupees per month that people are getting as old age pension, that will not be enough for them to survive. So it created a lot of stress all across, and people were eating less. That is shown in the various surveys that has come out. They were eating less than the last year in the same month. So all those things happened, and I think later on we will see the effects also in next year and year after, uh, especially in the nutritional component of nutritional anemia and other components that are driven by food. So I think government could have done something better. Government uh, stepped up its effort. It released about 3 lakh crore, 3 lakh crore of direct transfer, but that was inefficient. If you compare with the United States, the kind of package they had during the corona, which was way bigger than India. It was 5% of GDP, and here it was about 1.5% of the GDP. The direct the direct transfer. For example, PDS or allocation in NREGA or allocation in other schemes, old age pension, LPG, and etc. etc. So I think the government did not loosen its purse that was required for people to again get back on their feet during the pandemic, and that will show uh, later on also, because even the consumer confidence has not improved to the extent that it should have improved, and economy, as you know, has already shrunk. So that has a bearing on there is a bearing on every aspect of life, especially for those who are very vulnerable, and especially for those who struggle to even get food on their plate. Uh, Another thing that I would like to add was some of the experience that we had during the lockdown, uh, and people do not realize what kind of tragedies workers went through to reach their home. You have already heard about, for example, a boy who was in Banaras with his father, and he had to drive his thela uh, about 500, more than 500 kilometers to reach Jokihat. And you have already read about stories from other places where people walked hundreds of kilometers or cycled hundreds of kilometers. All those things were there, but there are other stories which have, and very very heart-wrenching stories which we have not come across. uh, I will tell you one story that I personally followed up. There were about 20 brick kiln workers who were stranded in Marwan district, Muzaffarpur district, Marwan block, and this brick kiln owner was not letting them go, and he was also not providing enough food for these 20 people. We received a heart-wrenching WhatsApp video asking for help. That video was circulated on WhatsApp, and that led us to file a complaint with the labor department, and some of our friends there also went and visited them, and after a lot of struggle, after arranging money for them to travel back to Latehar from where they had come, they could reach back home. And when people talked to them, they had not eaten for a few days. They were totally emaciated, and they had lost all hope. Such stories, there were hundreds of such stories. There's one more story which is a bit different. Pappu Rishide was stuck in Sophiabad, Haryana, and he was stuck because he had broken his leg, and he was working in a rural area as a agriculture worker, and there was no ambulance available for him to go and visit any government hospitals. There is a lot of restriction on the movement of vehicles also. For this ordinary man, ordinary poor person who was from Bihar, living in Haryana, it was very difficult for him to do anything. And he had four people with him, four of his sathis who were working with him, and they were also stuck with him. They did not want to leave him, but they left him because they did not have food and they could not provide for him. So they said that they would come back, but now they had to leave. So they left him, and he was left alone. Somehow somebody contacted us regarding this person Pappu Rishi Dev, and we could get in touch with people, good Samaritans, This is the wonderful part of our country, that thousands of people, came forward and helped each other. So a doctor in Haryana helped the Papu Rishi Dev. He treated him and also arranged for his transport from Haryana to Bihar. So such stories, if we start talking about them and start talking about the miseries which happened, it will be, never ending. But we must remember, because sitting in our homes, we often forget the kind of tragedies that the workers go through. And in this context, I would like to say that government entitlements are very important. If government had a scheme to safely transport workers from their respective places to Bihar, people would be far better. If we had a wider social security net, if we had a social security net where we could cover all population, all rural population, all deserving people, if we had a universalized PDS, and not only 70% of people covered as of who are covered as of now in Bihar, situation would have been much different. What I feel is, government had all the resources to do all these things. For example, uh, we calculated that in Bihar, if we had to provide grains to everybody, all rural household and all deserving household in urban areas, that is, all those living in slums, it would require only 2 million tons of additional food grain allocation to provide them food. And at the same time, at the end of March 2020, government had about 80 million tons of grains. So FCI godowns were overflowing with grains. At the same time, we had a situation like food riot in Delhi, where people were not getting food, and they had to, the riot kind of situation was created, even though the government was providing uh, kitchen and cooked food to migrants over there. That was not enough. So if we had run food kitchens in big cities, if we had opened up MDM schools, midday meal schools, to whoever was hungry, and it was not difficult. See, we have some kind of robust security net. We have MDMs, and we have a functional school system where millions of children eat MDM every day. So if we had enlarged this and invited people, poor people who wanted to have a good warm meal in the schools, it would have been wonderful. And it was not very difficult to do. Unfortunately, we could not do that. Similarly, Anganwadis and other things that you can imagine. I think because government entitlements are there, poor of this country uh, have not gone through wide scale starvation. If you want to summarize it, wide scale starvation during the pandemic. And still they faced a situation of hunger. They faced situation where they had only rice to eat, or they had faced situation where not enough food was available for all family members. That kind of situation arose. But still, I would say that because of the social security net, because of all these things functioning, we did not face a wide scale starvation situation. So with that, I think I will open the discussion, and would like people to ask questions so that I can, say things which I had to say, but I have not, because I expect questions to come on those fronts.
Anyone is having any question? Please free to ask, sir.
And I will open the discussion, and
Anyone is there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I am Dr. Anup Kumar Singh, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
yeah,
Hello, I am Dr. Anup Kumar Singh, sir.
Yes, sir, sir.
yeah.
My question is, sir, कि, first of all, I must congratulate you for a very nice lecture, sir. I'm from PG Department of Geography, Patliputra University. Sir, my question is कि What were the is there any at that time remedial suggestions were given to the administration so that such events might not have occurred? Hello.
Sorry, can you repeat that again? I lost the connection.
Sir, my question is, sir, yeah, during at the time of the large scale migration that was taking place of the laborers, was there any remedial suggestion were given to the local administration or government level to stop such type of catastrophic thing which was happening on the road, sir?
See, large, there, see, government, there were a lot of suggestions that went to the government at the local level because of the resource constraint. You know, even at the state level, the state doesn't have all the means to provide for the kind of situation which arose during the pandemic. So it was
Yes,
up
sir.
to the central government to pitch in with resources because they have the means. Now, even the food provision that they did, which was welcomed by everyone, the 5 kg of extra grain that was provided,
Yes, sir.
that,
Yes, sir.
that was after, you know, after a lot of you can say pressure or request or whatever you want to say. After a lot of people wrote to chief minister, for example, I remember we our groups here, right to food campaign, wrote to the chief minister and the prime minister, urging them to uh, increase this food grain allocation and urging them to provide foods and food kitchen everywhere. So that sort of also worked a bit, but there are many things. For example, transport related problems. Uh, People had to go to the Supreme Court, in fact, to ensure that workers were provided transport free. First, when the rail started flying, it was not free. Then people went to Supreme Court, and there was a lot of discussion in the Supreme Court. Government, all the state government had to file affidavits, and then government agreed to provide free rail travel. Otherwise, they were asking the states to bear a portion of the cost.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else who is having any question or any doubt can ask, sir. No one is there? Okay. Sachi sir, do we have any question? Sachi sir, do you have any question to ask?
Hello, ma'am.
Now I would request Anita to ask the
Yes,
question.
ma'am. Hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you can continue.
Sir, he is hearing my voice. Hello, sir. Ashish Ranjan, sir.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Hello, sir. My
I can
question
hear you.
is, yes, sir. Sir, my question is, in what ways Manrega helped to unorganized sector workers during the pandemic, during the whole pandemic period? What was the role of Manrega and how it can be improved to curb situations like this lockdown situation in which many people lost their jobs and the country faced a lot of problems. So please, I would like to ask you that please tell me about the role of such social security programs, which is done by the government.
Yeah, see, Manrega, if you look at the macro picture, Manrega provided work, some kind of work. The average is about 40 to about 10 crore people. That is the all India data. And about 50 lakh people. That is the Bihar data. So you can imagine if one person in a household, 50 lakh households were benefited from NREGA. And that was the only work opportunity for large number of people. in Bihar and elsewhere in India. As you know, everything was shut, small scale industry, construction work, and other kind of work, even the hospitality industry, small shops, all were shut down. So people had nothing else to bank upon. And that is where I think Manrega played a huge role, because about 10 crore people worked under NREGA, and about 50 lakh people worked under NREGA in Bihar. So that kind of provided, I think, what it did to the family income, where that income went. I think that went mostly to provide for basic necessity, that is food. People spent all the Narega money on food. And as I said, if you take 40 days on an average for a household, then about 8,000 rupees was earned by a person or a household, and that 8,000 was very very much needed during this pandemic, where the people had no income. And especially to women, if you take the figure also, if you look at the data in NREGA, more than 50% of workers are women. And so even among the more if you take the spread of vulnerability in the community, more women were vulnerable than men, more elderly were vulnerable than young people. So even if you take that into account, NREGA, because it provided work to women, uh, it also provided nutrition to the children, because when women earn money, they do not spend it elsewhere. They preserve it and they use it very judiciously uh, for the most needed things in the family.
Thank you, sir. Now I would request Anita ma'am to summarize today's lecture. Anita ma'am? Anita ma'am? Yes? Ma'am, you are not audible. You are not- Please connect it again. Unmute your.
Hello.
Yes, yes. Now you
Am
are
I
audible.
audible, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, hello. Very good afternoon, everyone. We are attending 16th web-based lecture series on unorganized workers during pandemic and role of government entitlements by Professor Ashish Ranjan sir. As we all know, the unprecedented lockdown has pushed economies into dire straits and also raised hopes that they would soon rebound to the old normals as soon as the pandemic is contained. This is Lockdown suddenly halted production in India. Not even 25% of the economy could function during the lockdown, producing only the most essential goods and services. So, rate of growth is minus 75% during the period. Consequently, businesses have lost incomes and large number of workers have lost work and for or did not receive wages. I would like to summarize sir's lecture. As we come to appreciate the opinions expressed by our learned participants, we can summarize that the role of government entitlements may have not been adequate, but it is certainly quite helpful during the unprecedented period of global pandemic. At the same time, the role of non-government organizations and spirited individuals and groups cannot be underestimated. As labor is in the concurrent list of our constitution, therefore center and state government both legislate on the issue. I would like to mention the program Manrega, as I have done my PhD on Manrega under Professor Purnima Sekhar Singh, ma'am. that Manrega is one of the largest flagship program of the central government, providing job to unorganized sector laborers. About rupees 5,000 crore related to approximately 2 crore construction workers, which is estimated to employ maximum migrant workers. As Sir said, Union Labour Ministry did a commendable job by releasing rupees and providing 2 lakh workers to release the struck down people in the Manrega. The scope of sir has many times mentioned about 5 kg grains provided by the government. It was Pradhan Mantri Kalyan Garib Kalyan Yojana, which was explored to include unorganized workers, providing free of cost 5 kg wheat or rice and 1 kg pulses with financial package of rupees 1.7 lakh crore. 80 crore people were enrolled, as said by sir. People of Bihar rely on remittance, as sir said, for outside as well as inside country laborers, falling short during the pandemic. People who didn't have card didn't get benefited. It's a very painful situation. Schools were closed, not given midday meals. Nutrition level also slowed get down. Legacy of Social Security program, as said by sir, is we have realized during the pandemic, 84% of population of Bihar get benefited. There was a lot of inclusion errors also. Many poor were not get benefited. 14% or even more were not covered by this scheme, caused painful situation for many. Narega has probably only 25% registered active job card holders, which is not satisfying the motive of the program. Only 40 days employment, which means 8,000 rupees, still is still felt short, which is very much beneficial during the period, but not sufficient. No means of communication, as sir has said, that during the pandemic, no means of situation was there, no means of communication was there to return home. People raised loans, and this caused the this makes situation more worse, that people get ridden into the debt. Elderly people get advance payment of rupees 5,000 to account holder, but it was not enough to survive. As sir has mentioned, many situation in which people get their people return to their home at their own, and they not get any help from the government, as he has mentioned Banaras boy story. He drive Thela to reach home for many kilometers. And one example is there, that when a girl from Bihar pulled his father on his cycle to return back from Delhi to Bihar, it is a very heart-wrenching situation. Muzaffarpur case was mentioned by sir. Overall, we can say that government entitlements are very important, and 80 million tons of midday meal schools should be opened. Million of children get benefit in India from this. Due to social security schemes, the people of India get benefited, but the efforts were not very sufficient. We need more robust and targeted efforts to curb the situation, like last year pandemic and other problem of poverty. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I will request our director, ma'am, Professor Purnima Sekhar Singh, to say some few lines.
Hello. Hello, Ashish ji. Your presentation was excellent, and it's your humbleness that you said that your analysis cannot match the academia. Actually, basically, we scholars depend upon the primary data only. And since you are the social activist working with the people at the grassroots level, so your feedback and your reflection is very important, and you have shed a light on many misconceptions, which we were having. Thank you so much for your this valuable presentation. We have benefited a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I, on behalf of the center, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to the Honorable Speaker Ashish Ranjan, who took out valuable time of his busy schedule. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for the Speaker for his explanation on the topic. We are all inspired by his words. I would like to thank all our guest speakers and invitees for joining our webinar. Finally, I would like to thank our director, Professor Purnima Shekhar Singh, for her enthusiastic support in organizing such web-based series every Saturday at the Center for Geography. Thank you.
Thank you so much.